Welcome back, everybody. Last topic we covered was a little bit of a downer considering it involved the, let's call it, overuse of power by federal agents in order to keep this video from getting nuked by the YouTube algorithm, because YouTube does not want that story going viral. They do not want progressive coverage of that story going viral. And, you know, that's just the world we live in right now, so we gotta work with it. But this story, this narrative, this video should be a bit of a palate cleanser for you guys. And we're gonna be talking about somebody who I've been criticizing for quite some time. And that would be Candace Owens. Her grift has been going on for like a decade now. She started off as a left-wing grifter where she made a website called Social Autopsy centered around the idea of doxing racist cyberbullies, something the entire internet made fun of her for. A year later, she's a loud and proud white supremacist conservative, virtue signaling about how Black Americans need to just suck it up and try harder. She's never been a real person. She's never not been a grifter. She's never actually held real positions. Everything she's ever said and done during her time on the internet has been to try and maximize profit. I've called her out for such all these years, and now other people are too. And I don't mean other people as in other progressives. I mean normal, non-political. I guess he's kind of he gets involved in politics from time to time, but he's not like a no-life politics brain loser like me, you know what I mean? Normal people are noticing that Candace Owens is full of shit. And if you think that's like weird for me to consider a big deal, then I should remind you that Candace Owens has immense pull. Like millions of views on every live stream, millions of views on every video she uploads to Facebook where she has immense amounts of pull. She is insanely influential and was best friends with Charlie Kirk, whose death she is now also grifting off of. And it is clearly grifting. Like, we did some videos where we speculated, like, does Candace have something? Like, she was friends with Charlie Kirk, she might have something. To a couple days later, it's like, okay, if she had something, she would have posted evidence by now. To a few weeks later, where it's like, and Candace is still grifting. Well, now, we've got a new video from Willie Mack's show, where he's outright exposing Candace Owens as an evil grifter. The name of the video is Candace Owens is unironically evil, the worst conspiracy theorist. I am shocked to say that from what I've seen of this is one of the best takedown videos on Candace Owens that I've ever seen. There'll be a link in the description if you guys want to go watch and support this video yourselves, especially since we won't be watching the whole video in this segment. But I've got much I want to say about it and a lot of praise I want to give this video, so I thought, why not dive right into it? Don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below if you end up enjoying, subscribe if you want to see more, and without any further ado, let's get into it, shall we?
This is the internet. I've accepted that nothing is sacred and that everything is going to be debated. I'm certainly not the joke police.
I swear to God that has to be an Assassin's Creed reference, right? Like, did my boy Willie Mack sneak in an Assassin's Creed reference there? That felt like a reference to the Assassins, like, the literal Assassin's Creed.
But Candace Owens, who has marketed herself as
permitted.
Charlie Kirk's best friend, has done nothing but grifted his murder. Within 24 hours after he passed away, she posted, "To my friend Charlie Kirk," and she'd end the video saying she feels hurt.
A lot of pain right now, and I love you, Charlie, and, you know, I'll see you when I'll see you.
Do you think she was actively channeling real emotions? Or do you think she was fully hamming up an act? Like, do you think she had to, like, stab herself with, like, a pin a few times to, and, like, get the tears going and then go, and I'm so sad? You know, like, did she do that whole bit? Like, do you think it's fully fake, or do you think she's actually kind of sad and using that sadness for her performance? To be fair, I could do that given time. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, wasn't she a failed actress? You're not wrong. She was a failed actress. They all were. All of them failed out of acting and entertainment and became right-wing grifters. So it wouldn't surprise me if she was hamming up her best sad, you know, mourning friend bit. This definitely comes off as a character, looking back in hindsight.
I love you very much.
This went on to be her most popular live stream ever. This will lead to the next 3 months being full of non-stop live streams coming up with baseless conspiracy theories about who killed Charlie. First, it was that people at Charlie Kirk's own company, Turning Point, betrayed him.
Like I alluded to last week, and which I will double down on now,
What really sold me on the fact that Candace was completely making this up, as he just mentioned, is how much her story changed with each consecutive live stream, and how every time she was accusing a new group of being behind his murder and claiming she had evidence, but that either A, it came from somebody who told her off the record, or B, she had the evidence and for some reason she couldn't show it now, but she would show it in the next live stream. And then she would just never even mention that evidence that she said she would show in the next live stream, much less show it. So it was just a non-stop spiel of, guys, I promise, trust me, bro. And after a couple of live streams, it's like, okay, I don't believe a word of this.
Like I alluded to last week, and which I will double down on now, I believe that people within that company betrayed Charlie.
Now, what's her evidence of this? Well, it's that she saw it in a dream. I'm serious. It's that stupid.
Yep.
Similarly, like I just said,
I did not know this, by the way. Until I saw the opening of this Willie Mac video myself, I did not know that this is where her grift on Charlie Kirk's death started, but behold.
had a vivid dream this weekend, and Charlie came to me and he told me that he was betrayed. And so for me, you don't have to believe that, but I do believe that. It was the immediate sense I got, actually. And I don't know who exactly it is that betrayed him, but I also felt in the dream that it is soon going to be revealed, that it's actually inevitable that it is going to be revealed, that there is nothing and no one that is going to stop the truth from coming out, and it is going.
There are tens of millions of people who watch this woman and get their news from her. And what's so fucked about it, what's so demonic about it, is that she's weaponizing Christianity here. It is very commonly believed by Christians that their dead loved ones will speak to them or try to communicate to them, or maybe even God will communicate to them through visions of their loved ones, through dreams. And evoking a dead loved one speaking to you in a dream, to Christians, is a somewhat valid source. They believe in that kind of thing. And so what she's doing right now is lying about having a spiritual experience to Christians in order to gaslight them. Or not gaslight them, but manipulate them. That is objectively, biblically demonic behavior. Literal heresy.
Going to have international consequences. Take that to the bank. Quote me on that.
Yeah, we're still waiting on that. This is all based off of her womanly intuition.
Women tend to have a stronger intuition about people, I would say.
Then suddenly everyone is involved. The US federal government is covering it up.
If you were going to bring me to the argument that this truly was a miracle, it probably would not be in the midst of a circumstance where the feds are lying. Right, that is like not now, right?
Israel is involved because Ben Shapiro said Candace should be condemned. Ben only cares about Israel's interests, so Israel is involved. Then it's France.
I can tell you the feds are not doing that, because I was the one who said I had the information about the French Foreign Legion being on the ground the day that Charlie was assassinated, and the feds have not reached out to me.
It's because you're correct.
Dude, Candace Owens' drip is the biggest sign that she is like a fucking villain, dude. Who the fuck dresses like this and presents themselves this way if they're not a villain straight out of a bad 2000s action movie? Like, everything about the way she presents herself is villainous. She looks like a villain, dude. She dresses like a villain. Like, look at her fucking... Who dresses like this? What the fuck is this outfit? I mean, it's drip. Don't get me wrong, it's drip, but it's villain drip. Like, I see someone dressed like this, and I immediately know they're the antagonist of the story, okay? The fucking turtleneck combined with whatever the hell the rest of it is? It's like 4 different outfits combined into one garment. What even is this, dude? Is there a name for what she's wearing right now?
Being on the ground the day that Charlie was assassinated, and the feds have not reached out to me.
It's because you're crazy. She blames France partially because she thinks the first lady has a penis.
And I think you
Brigitte
did that.
Macron has a penis. I really want you to know that.
Brigitte Macron does not have a penis.
Brigitte Macron has a penis.
No, she doesn't.
She thinks she's the main character. She's like, I found Egyptian planes. Isn't it suspicious the government isn't reaching out to me about this?
As soon as some podcaster was like, hey, I found Egyptian planes and they're being kind of shady, I would be like, whoa, that is weird.
Perfect show of, like, the average Candace Owens viewers' logical processing centers, and that in their worldview, they think that it is bad that the government does not find out a podcaster has a theory and immediately look into that podcaster's theory. Podcaster has a theory in their world is like, oh man, the federal government needs to be looking into this podcaster's theory, dude.
What's up with these Egyptian planes?
It's like, wow, everybody killed Charlie besides Tyler Robinson.
Like, even if you are somebody who is on the side of those who do believe that Tyler Robinson pulled the trigger one way or another, would you ever describe what happened as quote unquote very clear?
Yes.
I'm guessing your answer to that would be no.
Because you've eaten all the glue. She has zero evidence of there being a second shooter, but she believes that over the official story. How? I don't know. Maybe she dreamt that up too. Remember, Candace...
And it's so psychotic to believe. I'm sorry, guys, but, like, I go back from time to time to look over all that footage just because it's an interesting event. It was so clearly Tyler Robinson that did it. For one, there's video of him fleeing the rooftop. There's video from security camera footage of him jumping down from the rooftop, like as he drops down from the roof itself, and you see him doing it. But there's also camera footage where someone pulled out their phone and started recording as he's walking on the rooftop, going to set up at his sniper's perch before he takes the shot. And it's clearly him. Like, you can't tell many details, but, like, it's him. We've seen pictures of the guy. You see his frame and his build up there walking on the build. It's him. It's him. There's another video of him when he's fleeing the scene from another camera angle with a phone as he's fleeing from his sniper's nest. It's him. It's definitely Tyler Robinson. All the other evidence of after the fact, where his vehicle is parked, the footage of his vehicle being parked at the spot where he said in those messages that he parked it to be his, like, getaway vehicle, the gun that is his grandpa's antique gun being stashed where he said he stashed it after the shooting, the fact that he went to try to get the stashed gun back days later after the shooting. It's like, yeah, Tyler Robinson did it. Anyone who does the whole, like, I don't know, maybe Tyler didn't do it bit, like, that should be your immediate litmus test to know they're trying to sell you bullshit. They're selling you bullshit that you want to be true. You want to believe it's true. You want it to be true really badly because it would be easy if it was true. But you guys, the best thing you can do for yourselves as people who engage in politics is to hear a story that is convenient, if true, and to be like, yeah, but what if it's not, though? What if it isn't true and I repeat this, and it's just a convenient lie? Fact check it even if you really want it to be true. I promise you, it's a really good way to stave off the brain rot.
Claims to be Charlie's closest friend. They're basically siblings.
Our relationship was real. We were brother and sister. You know, we were fortified. Our relationship was forged in fire, the fire of politics. I knew him. I knew Charlie, the real Charlie.
But since she's used his death to tear down Charlie's political party, his company, his friends...
Do you believe Mikey McCoy had any prior knowledge of Charlie's murder?
Mikey's behavior is weird on that day.
And now his widowed wife.
None of us are involved in my husband's murder. Turning Point USA.
Like, we all know Candace is making up all these conspiracies about Turning Point, France, or Israel taking Charlie out. We know she's making it up. Like, if they were involved, it's nothing that Candace Owens knows is evidence for that. Like, Candace Owens doesn't know it. She's lying, and might happen to be lying about something that ends up being true, if that ends up being the case. But it almost certainly isn't, which means that Candace Owens is such a shameless grifter. One of her best friends died, and she immediately started grifting off of destroying the careers, or trying to destroy the careers, of all of his other friends and his family. And his widow. That is how much of a soulless grifter husk Candace Owens is. Not defending Erica Kirk or anything. What the fuck does she have against France? She is on a multi-year transvestigation arc against the First Lady of France. She's getting sued by the President and First Lady of France for it right now, but she's done several documentaries and written a book about how the First Lady of France is secretly a man. In court, they're going to be providing DNA test results, which Candace is already getting out in front of and claiming she won't accept, and that she requires the First Lady of France to post her vagina publicly on the internet for the world to see to prove her wrong. I'm not joking. Candace Owens is getting sued because her grift for the last 2 years has been the First Lady of France needs to post her pussy to the internet, and that is the only proof I'll accept that she is not a trans woman.
Myself.
That doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me, and it shouldn't work for you.
She implies that she was worried about getting poisoned in her meeting with Erica Kirk.
I did not know if they were going to be open. I didn't know what Erica's energy was going to be like, if it was going to be more of an argument, if there was going to be legal threats. You guys were telling me not to drink water, so I didn't drink water. Well, I brought my own water, but I didn't drink that water too.
She has written this.
Why does she care about Brigitte Macron in the first place? Who cares? Well, she's the wife of a pretty prominent progressive world leader. That's for starters. I believe Candace Owens is also banned from France. I could be wrong about that, but I know a lot of prominent conservative pundits got banned from France after promoting violence against refugees at one point, which was a big trend to promote violence against refugees coming to Europe, and particularly France and Spain and Italy for a while. And so it's very possible that she was banned from France and has a bone to pick with the country over that. Yeah, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. Erica Kirk was in a CIA documentary 10 years ago talking about EMPs. Yeah, I saw that clip, but that doesn't, contradict any of Erica Kirk's already known public history. She's already been known to be, involved with the federal government going back, a decade. That's how her and Charlie Kirk know each other. That's part of their story.
Conspiracy to being the #1 podcaster some weeks above Joe Rogan. She streams to over 300,000 people some days. Hassan is the second biggest political streamer, streaming to about 20,000 people, peaking at 45K last month. She is
Yeah, so Candace Owens has several, more than a dozen times the following of Hassan Piker. More than a dozen times the pull of Hassan Piker. This is what I mean when I talk about the left having, a fraction of the cultural standing of the right online. People think I mean, a quarter, or a fifth, or a tenth. I mean, 1/10,000th of the right's influence online. And that needs to change.
10xing the next streamer in her genre, but it's because her streams are so exciting. She's talking about how France is trying to kill her. The f***ing government of France.
It feels especially urgent, right? Don't you feel a sense of urgency right now in the wake of me having learned that France apparently paid for my assassination?
She never elaborates on this, by the way. Also, why are you smiling? Aren't you about to be murdered? Candace's security is my top priority. That's why she needs to protect herself from data brokers and hackers by using Aura. Here's a redacted report of all the information that's likely out there on you right now on data broker sites.
Minus 10 Aura. Because you did a sponsorship. I'm joking.
Addresses, full names, phone numbers, emails, relatives, neighbors, photos, social media accounts, potentially. Thank you, Aura, for sponsoring.
Check out Aura if you want to support Willie Mack's show, but he doesn't make any money from me watching the sponsored segment.
This video. I want to start off by saying Candace is either manic or completely evil.
It's not dark money, okay? I will say, Willie Mack Show has taken sponsorships from some of the more shady companies that have done sponsorships in the past, but it's always been the big ones like Honey and Fume that everybody takes sponsorships from. And I will say I haven't seen a Fume sponsor from him in a while, since they got exposed for, I wouldn't say lying, but for those that don't know, you're not supposed to inhale fumes. What I mean is fume, that vape alternative. You're not supposed to inhale from them. You know how you take a vape and you go like that? You're not supposed to do that. You will literally fuck up your lungs and airway doing that. Like, it'll actively irritate your lungs and make it hurt. What you're supposed to do is this. Just into your mouth. Little tiny puffs just into your mouth, and you're not supposed to inhale it at all. But nowhere on any of the advertising or in any of the sponsorships do they say that. The only place that Fume officially says how you're supposed to consume their product, consume quote unquote, is in a reply to a single Reddit post where someone asked why inhaling from their fume was making their lungs hurt, and if anyone else was having the same experience. And the official Fume Reddit account replied saying, oh yeah, you're not supposed to inhale. That is literally that is the only place where they've ever clarified how you're meant to use it. It's insane. Maybe now they've changed that because they got called out, but yeah, it's pretty bad.
Because her conspiracy theories have zero logic, zero consistency.
How would the current court case and the jury pool be impacted if you answer?
You mean putting shit in your lungs is bad for you? Crazy? Shadow and Roses, are you being, like, intentionally retarded? Or is it, like, was it a thing you were born with? Or was it due to an injury? Because I want to know whether or not I should be nice or mean. Because a company selling people essential oils to inhale that they know is bad for you to inhale, so they literally clarify you should not inhale. Like, dog, I know I'm mostly memeing. I'm joking, Shadow and Rose, but like, come on. They sell their product, making it look like it's a vape alternative that you're meant to go and inhale on as an alternative to vapes, and yet it will literally burn your lungs. Like, the second it touches your lungs, it burns and hurts and starts causing accumulating soreness and pain. That is not what vaping does to you. Like, vaping's bad for you, don't get me wrong. Smoking's bad for you. But smoking and vaping will not cause that response. Like, within a day of inhaling fumes, Anyway, we're not getting lost in this. I'm just letting you guys know, if y'all use fume to get off of vaping, do not inhale it. The company will not tell you that you're not supposed to do that.
About why these Egyptian planes, why it's a statistical anomaly for these Egyptian planes to be surrounding Turning Point USA, Faith events, you and Charlie this many times. How would that impact? And again, I'm a gut player. It's common sense. So forgive me for not being elite enough and educated enough and expert enough to understand.
Nothing like hearing a multi-millionaire, multi-million view per day political pundit say, I'm a gut player. That's all. I'm just a gut player, guys.
How it would impact things. Explain it to me like I'm not a legal expert, you know? Like, I don't trust legal experts. I think they're all full of shit.
How is anything she said there common sense? It's literally the opposite of common sense. She's explaining an international operation to kill a YouTuber. She's always going on about these Egyptian planes, but she never posts evidence of anything.
Actually, frankly, just pissing me off. So I became locked in on these Egyptian planes because that's how I am, okay? You keep pushing me and keep pushing me, I will become an expert on these planes. I'll learn how to...
She's such a fucking performative, grifting piece of shit. What a slimy little fucking... I'm trying to think of creative insults, but I'm so angry. All I can think of is fuck you. You know, like, fuck this bitch. She's so performative. She's like clearly playing a character like, if you push me, I'll become an expert on these Egyptian planes. I'll find out everything you don't want me to know. It's such a fucking performative fake character she's playing, dude.
Build an Egyptian plane. And the reality is, like I said, tomorrow...
I'm really trying to watch, man, but it's lagging like a motherfucker. I promise you it's your internet. We've dropped 0 frames and not a single other person in chat has complained about lag.
I will show you how these planes tie back to Israel.
She never got around to this. I know, hard to imagine. It's gotten to the point where even Alex Jones is calling her a baseless conspiracy theorist.
Dealing with Candace Owens. Just as soon as the whole
beautiful
Egyptian plane thing gets debunked with all the facts, now she's moved to something else, and I'm really worried about her. I'm worried about her and her mind, but her latest source and what she's done, implicating the U.S. military and all this other stuff, is just so damaging. When you go investigate it, it's so crazy. And just like with the Egyptian plane, she says she has the metadata, then publish it. And when
Everything he's saying here is true, though, okay? Alex Jones, psychotic, monstrous piece of shit. Fuck him. But everything he's saying here is true. Everything. Everything he's saying here is true.
like with the Egyptian plane, she says she has the metadata, then publish it. And when she did publish it, and it got fact-checked, it wasn't accurate.
The closest thing I could find.
If you're going to take down a monster, you send in a monster. Who better to call out Candace Owens' grift than Alex Jones, who's just as much of a grifter and knows her exact game? You're a fake leftist? Oh my god, you've broken my heart. What will I ever do with some Hassan fan thinking that I'm pretending to be a part of the least liked group politically on the internet right now? Nazis are more well-liked by the broader public than leftists right now. Why the fuck would I fake being a leftist, you goddamn retard? Think for a moment. Use some brain cells. God gave them to you. Use them. I don't believe in God. Your mom gave them to you, so use them.
Find to her proof about these Egyptian planes is when she posted the flight logs in a tweet saying Tyler Robinson must have some powerful friends, implying that the people on this plane collaborated with Tyler Robinson to do it, but her only proof is that a plane flew out of an airport that day. At this point, why stop at blaming just that plane? Blame every plane to take off from the airport that day. We have reached peak schizophrenia. She also claims that this plane's first visit to America was on July 20th, and it was at an army base in Nebraska. But if you look at the very flight log she posted on her tweet, it shows that the plane stopped at OMA and LMK airport. These are the public airports of Omaha, Nebraska and Lincoln, Nebraska. Candace, where's the military base? This is what I mean by
Candace legitimately tried to sell off the idea that airliners flying from Egypt to Omaha, Nebraska is sus. In case you're unaware, every day, at all times, there are international flights from all around the world flying out of America to other countries and from other countries into America. It's a little thing called international air travel. It's happening all the time, even when you aren't currently flying, believe it or not.
she just says stuff. When people pointed out that she's wrong, she doesn't acknowledge it. She just says it's the Zionist coming after her.
And I'm like, this is happening. It's like a psychological operation.
In the 2025 and 2026, in the big 2026, all you have to do is say, my haters are Zionists, and all criticism simply evaporates. Every one of your fans will simply disregard the criticism. It's just the Zionists after me, guys. Because everybody, rightfully so, despises Israel and its government so much. Hell, fucking more than half of Israel despises Israel's government currently. Have you checked their approval ratings of the Likud party? Or Netanyahu? Netanyahu's party is the Likud party. Have you checked their approval ratings lately? More than half of Israel hates Israel. So, with that in mind, yeah, it's pretty easy to sell people on the idea that, like, people criticizing you are just full of shit if you call them Zionists in the Big 26. We gotta stop that, guys. We gotta find a way to stop allowing grifters to appropriate calling out Israel. I genuinely feel like Netanyahu is probably paying some of these people. Because in the long run, they know that this helps the Israeli regime's goals. To have grifters and charlatans pretending to care.
Because it's completely crazy. And when you see a media storm like this, it can only be happening because Zionists are locking arms and going attack, because they by and large control the media. They just do. Okay, one way or the other, Zionists control the empire medias, and they are scared about something in this investigation. We've noticed that from the very beginning.
It's amazing that we live in a world where if you're caught blatantly lying like Candace was, you could just blame Zionist and half the internet will forgive you. Works for Hassan, why not Candace? My point is, if your common sense can only be explained by elaborate media.
Are we going to talk about tankies turning on Mamdani over Israel today? Yeah, we all knew it was coming. Remember, it's like ContraPoint said, like tankies and leftist LARPers don't want power or to win. They want to lose forever and endlessly critique power. So now that Mamdani is actually in a position to start making positive change and solving the problems that they base their personality around complaining about, now they have to turn against him and attack him because 4 days into office, he hasn't ended the conflict between Israel and Palestine. It doesn't matter what he did or what he does. He could literally solve the conflict on the ground himself by talking to both leaders on both sides, and they would still go after him. They're calling him Zioran. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these like lefty types are literally plants paid for by the Mossad. I would not be surprised. If they're not, then they are getting scammed, because the Mossad needs to be sending them checks ASAP. I think every LARPy lefty Hassan fan that attacks AOC and Zoran Mamdani, like, they are owed paychecks from the IDF and the Israeli government. The Israeli government owes them so much fucking money for their work and their service.
In global cabals operating behind the scenes, it's no longer common sense, but it gets worse. The interview took place 2 months after Charlie's death, and by that time, Candace was already framing herself as more trustworthy than experts.
Why it's a statistical anomaly for these Egyptian planes to be surrounding Turning Point USA, Faith Events, you and Charlie this many times. How would that impact? And again, I'm a gut player. It's common sense. So forgive me for not being elite enough and educated enough and expert enough to understand how it would impact things. Explain it to me like I'm not a legal expert, you know? Like, I don't trust legal experts. I think they're all full of shit.
But when Ellie asks questions based off basic information, it becomes blatantly clear that Candace doesn't know anything. Ellie asks why Candace thinks Tyler's text messages are fake, and Candace cites Discord for some reason.
Do you have any proof that the messages were made up? Because that would be easily proven.
Yeah, but they didn't put timestamps on them, and Discord came out and said they didn't exist.
This was supposedly text messages, not Discord messages. It's my understanding from the indictment.
I actually did not read that they were text messages.
Which means she didn't even bother to read the indictment, which says text messages. Now, there is also Discord messages between Tyler and his friends, but Candace claims that Discord says they're fake.
Have messages, it's all over. We found it on Discord.
Remember when I had a whole fucking stream of arguing with you guys in chat claiming that Discord confirmed those messages were fake and that those messages were AI generated? Because what teenager calls their car their vehicle, Zan? What teenager calls their car their vehicle, Zan? I was like, guys, Discord literally published the screenshots that we're talking about right now.
Or Discord is going to say that's not true? So who made up these messages?
I have no idea where Candace is getting that they're fake from. Discord literally provided the messages. I'm sorry for all of this. Read a message from the suspect's account. Discord provided a copy of the message with the confession to authorities. And then when I am able to track down Candace's sources, the logic is so flimsy.
When you say you believe that Charlie Kirk was betrayed by someone close to him, what do you mean?
I think that in the coming weeks, there's going to be a lot of financial reports that are coming out, and first and foremost...
Notice, but, like, that means nothing. That is a non-answer. I think in the coming weeks, there'll be a lot of financial reports coming out. What does financial report mean? What does she mean by that? What financial reports will be coming out? Like, tax documents from TPUSA? Charlie Kirk's official employment documentation? That's a filler word that she just used. The financial documents is a filler word. She just found words that she could use that would make her sound smart. Like there's something coming. Like there's something that she knows about that's gonna hit the public eye and she's gonna be vindicated. We just gotta wait. But financial documents for who? Of what? What financial documents? Tax documents? Employment documents? Like documents for when they bought or rented out the venue and signed it off with the school? Like what financial documents? That means nothing. That is a nothing word. She literally just used some words that would make her sound smart.
I do not believe that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. I want to be very clear on that. Whether he was involved, I think the answer is yes. I think that's obvious.
And your basis for saying he didn't act alone is what?
I don't know, maybe the weird Fed messages that were concocted out of thin air that had no timestamp and were written like they were speaking in 1822.
Well, Candace...
That was half of my chat after the shooting happened, when I was arguing with you guys, and I say you guys, probably most of these people unsubbed from me and ran off to go watch Hassan, but arguing with half the people in my chat, they were making these exact same arguments to me. As I was arguing in the counter, no doubt what Willie Mack show is about to say.
Is referring to is that Tyler Robinson said vehicle instead of car in the text messages.
This is my favorite. I argued for days with the chatters over this particular thing. Watch this.
Second term that I want you to look for in your phone is vehicle. Vehicle. I mean, what pops up for you? Is that something that you say? I'm just going to go outside to my vehicle. I left something in my vehicle. I'll be right back. I parked my vehicle outside. I don't remember where I parked my vehicle. I love vehicles, love fast vehicles. I'm a big
I was one of those people, Zan. I apologize. You know what, Eric H5B8U? I respect the fuck out of you for that. Owning that you had the bad take back then, saying, man, I was one of those people. I'm sorry, bro. You were right. I'm sorry. I respect the fuck out of you for that. That's a W right there. That's a big, glowing, fat W that you just received.
vehicle person, said nobody ever.
In fact, I'd go so far as to say that you just farmed aura.
The text messages that were released yesterday in the indictment of Tyler Robinson make perfect sense if you don't think about them at all. Like literally, if you suspend all reason, all rationality, then they can make perfect sense. That's the only way. You just have to stop thinking.
This is it. This is a proof that the text messages are fake and that the feds are involved in covering up Charlie's murder. But what's funny is Candace says the word vehicle all the time.
President gets shot in a moving vehicle in Dallas. I almost made him pull over the vehicle. Hollywood is the vehicle. Yeah, he just gets out of his vehicle. Who owns?
One of my big points back then was y'all use the word vehicle all the fucking time, and you would never think about it when you use it. So of course, when you go to think like, who uses the term vehicle? Of course, nothing comes to mind because you never think about it when you use this word.
Owned a white vehicle that was parked in the neighborhood, which was nearby where the shooter had walked. Nick lives nearby, and everyone locally had looked at this vehicle and said that it was remarkably suspicious. And Phil had come back to him and said, "I can help you to just figure out more about this vehicle that was parked."
She can't be this stupid, dude. The proof of her being malicious comes from her showing footage from 2022 of Tyler Robinson talking to the police after a car accident.
During the discussion with the officer that showed up, Tyler certainly refers to it as his car, not his vehicle, because that's how most Americans, how most English speakers refer to a car. And
Mom's on her way? Yeah, she's gonna be a minute. She's gotta shuttle over from where she's at to her car and then drive over. Gotcha.
His mother
he
was
said car.
gonna shuttle over from her car? Interesting.
No, it's not. I looked up the exact same video that Candace showed, and if you watch the whole thing, Tyler says the word vehicle just a couple of minutes later.
As I get into the intersection, there was a vehicle in the lane.
Wow, it's as if people have vocabularies and use different words sometimes. Candace showed this exact—
Nah, but teenagers don't use the term vehicle. They never do. Teenagers don't know the word vehicle. They're too stupid, okay? What would a teenager be in? Like fucking 5th grade? They don't know that word.
Same video and then purposely cut it off for her audience right before her point was about to be debunked. This isn't an accident. She's being malicious. It's not a coincidence that all of her sources are unnamed and anonymous and that no other outlet is receiving anything. It gives her the freedom to just make stuff up.
Feds are like on the computer, like typing it out back and forth.
That's exactly what it is. The feds made up the text messages.
But you don't have anyone from like the FBI telling you that or law enforcement?
Leaks.
Okay.
No.
Has anyone leaked to you?
And Tyler Robinson.
I have leaks.
But has anyone said to you?
Yes, we know you have leaks, Candace. They make products for that.
And off the record, like, yeah, we faked these.
I have very strong sources everywhere on both sides, from Lance to Robinson's family to federal government, and I am making the statement that those text messages were made up and that they did not come from Tyler Robinson.
But she won't show any of this evidence because it doesn't exist. She's not doing an investigation, she's writing fan fiction. Meanwhile, she doesn't even know what town Charlie was shot in.
I don't know what he means. Where is he stuck here, guys? Do you have a clue here? I'm stuck in a REM for a little while longer. It shouldn't be long until I can come home. Is that a typo? I should have asked you guys. Okay, that's the town? Okay.
How do you not know the town? This is the number one.
She's like 5 streams into her non-stop grift live stream marathon of claiming she knows the secret behind Charlie Kirk's death. Accidentally chooses to read an article on her stream. Gets to the name of the city where her best friend was killed, where the university where the shooting happened went down. reads the name of the city for the first time, going to show how little research she's even done about this, that she doesn't even recognize the city name where this happened, and has to be told by her chat where, like, what Orem is. That's the city where Charlie Kirk was shot. On, like, day 5 of her rampage covering this story. She's not just stupid. It's all intentional. Now, granted, that was a slip-up in her act of pretending like she knows what's going on and she's kept her research going, but at the end of the day, she is pandering to idiots. It's not like they know enough to have caught that, so she gets away with this and continues to pull millions of views per live stream. All these clips come from her live streams, where she is pulling hundreds of thousands of concurrent viewers, right? Like, consistently, and people are taking her seriously. Anyway, guys, I highly recommend that you go check out the rest of this Willie Mack Show video. It's pretty fire, and it's not going to be the only one either. He ends this video by saying he plans to make a sequel that'll go into the history of Candace Owens and her long storied past of grifting, which I've ranted about and covered many times, in the past. So it's nice to see that Willie Mack will be putting together like a sort of organized, combined sort of compilation of those things, because I've gathered like a big list of those things and covered them on stream before, but Willie Mack Show gets way more reach, and his videos are a lot more organized than mine are, being live streams, which I'm gonna enjoy seeing that. I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna be there for it. I'm gonna support it, and I hope you guys will be there too. So go send some support and kind words in the comments as well. Say Zan sent you. Anyway, folks, if you enjoyed this segment, if you found it entertaining, educational, or enjoyable, leave a like and a comment down below, subscribe if you want to see more, and join my fan Discord to be a part of the community. But with that said, thank you so much for watching as always, and I hope you have a good one.